You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more, speak out. It's about to head south. You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
Yo guys, and welcome to Gen Scorpio. My name is Belsink, and I'm so pleasantly surprised that you wanna watch our show today. Today is about mythical creatures, because let's just face it, the stories we tell ourselves are real, so why aren't myths real as well? Today is about the legendaries, it's about Pokemon, it's about fairy tales, it's about magic, and it's gonna be amazing. Give me a 1 in the comment if you are excited about this episode. As I said, my name is Belsink, you are watching Gen Scorpio, it's the cosmic talk show on YouTube. And today I hope we can start to see the world differently and understand what makes culture and how we can improve culture in the future. So what is a fairy tale really? A fairy tale is a tale, is a story that we tell so many times about fairies, because let's face it, it's fairy tale. It's a tale about fairies. But what is a fairy? Well, according to Wikipedia and such, a fairy is actually a spirit, and we totally believe in God. So, like most of us believe in God or a higher force. And if you believe in God, why don't you believe in spirits, in fairies? Like, it's the same thing, right? If you can believe in a higher father, higher mother, whatever gender you want to give them, because like Ariana Grande says that God is a woman. I don't know. She might be a woman. It doesn't really matter, because gender is just a social construct. Oh, yeah, I went there. So, okay. You believe in God, but you don't believe in spirit? Seriously? That's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Like, how can you even justify such a worldview? Oh, I believe in God, but I don't believe in nature. I don't believe in Thor, Odin, Lord Ganesh, Shiva, Lakshmi, Rhiannon, Dagda. Like, how can you even justify not believing in spirits if you are claiming that, oh, I'm Christian, I'm believing in the Holy Spirit? Like, it's just beyond me. Like, when you ask somebody about, oh, you need to prove that God exists, they say that, oh, but God is everything. That's a good excuse for not trying to prove something exists. So hey, let's try to prove that fairy tales exist. Oh, you know what? Fairy tales is everything. Boom, it's proven. You can't prove against it, so it's real. Because that's what you're saying with God and different entities. So if you can't prove God, I don't really have to prove fairy tales. But it doesn't really matter if it's proven, because what really matters is that what we believe in and what we learn from. Because as the years has passed, you will understand that most of the fairy tales are actually developed from the original form. Let me give you a fairy tale, and I'm gonna look it up on the internet as well, just to make sure, because I know some people are gonna be like, hey, that's not right. Okay. So let's see if I can find it. Because there was a Danish man called Hans Christian Andersen. Have you heard about him? You should. because he's the one that created the original fairy tale about Frozen. And Frozen is one of the most successful Disney movies through history. And it's based on a real fairy tale. Maybe it's based on real phenomena in the world. So, Hans Christian Andersen is a Danish author and poet, and he had I'm not sure what the Snow Queen is the fairy tale that Frozen is based on. So I'm just listing from Wikipedia, but I'm gonna try to say, let's see. Okay, so it's a story about the devil. Oh, that didn't appear in Frozen. No, it didn't. The devil, in the form of an evil troll, has made a magic mirror that distorts the appearance of everything that it reflects. The magic mirror fails to reflect the good and beautiful aspects of people and things, and magnifies the bad and ugly aspects. The devil, who is headmaster at Troll School, takes the mirror and his pupils through the world, delighting in using it to distort everything and anything. They attempt to carry the mirror into heaven in order to make fools of the angels and God, but the higher they lift it, the more the mirror shakes with laughter, and it slips from their grasp and falls back to earth, shattering into billions of pieces, some no larger than a grain of sand. The splinters are blown by the wind all over the earth and get into people's hearts and eyes, freezing their hearts like blocks of ice and making their eyes like the troll mirror itself, seeing only the bad and ugly in people and things. And I'm just want to stop there and say that this may actually be real, because people are usually focusing on the bad things. So you could say they have gotten some of the splinters from the troll mirror in their heart, because people choose to focus on bad things. The story continues. Years later, a little boy, Kai, and a little girl, Gerda, lives next door to each other in the garrets of building with adjoining roofs in a large city. They could get from one's home to the others just by stepping over the gutters of each building. The two families grow vegetables and roses in window boxes placed on the gutters. Gerda and Kai have a window box garden to play in, and they become devoted to each other as playmates and as close as if they were siblings. Kai's grandmother tells the children about the Snow Queen, who is the ruler of the snow bees. Snowflakes that looks like bees. As bees have a queen, so do the snow bees, and she is seen where the snowflakes cluster the most. Looking out of this frosted window one winter, Kai sees the Snow Queen, who beckons him to come with her. Kai draws back in fear from the window. By the following spring, Gerda has learned the song that she sings to Kai. Roses flower in the vale. There we hear child Jesus' tale. Because roses adorn the window box garden, the sight of roses always reminds Gerda of her love for Kai. On a pleasant summer day, splinters of the troll mirror get into Kai's heart and eyes. Kai becomes cruel and aggressive. He destroys the window box garden. He makes fun of his grandmother, and he no longer cares about Gerda. Since everyone now appears to bad and ugly to him, the only beautiful and perfect things to him now are the tiny snowflakes that they see through a magnifying glass. The following winter, Kai goes out with his sled to play in the snowy market square and hitches it to a curious white sleigh carriage, driven by the Snow Queen, who appears as a woman in a white fur coat. Outside the city, she reveals herself to Kai and kisses him twice, once to numb him from the cold, and a second time to make him forget about Gerda and his family. A third kiss would kill him. She takes Kai in her sleigh to a palace. The people of the city conclude that Kai died in a nearby river. Gerda, heartbroken, goes out the next summer to look for him and questions everyone and everything about Kai's whereabouts. she offers her new red shoes to the river in exchange for Kai, by not taking the gifts at first. The river lets her know that Kai did not drown, so Gerda climbs into a boat and the river carries her away to start her on the right path. And just by listening to this, like, it is already kind of like how it is in life. We are already getting introduced to a guide, and the guide in the story is the river. The river lets her know that Kai did not drown. Are we gonna analyze this fairy tale? Yes, we are. Because I think that humanity can learn insane amounts of things by analyzing stuff and breaking it down. And I know some people are like, oh, I just wanna be, I just wanna experience. Yes, but if you don't understand what you're experiencing, your experience is wasted and it's not complete. That's why we humans exist on Earth. It's not just to be, it's to understand why we are being, and why we are creating, and how we can create a better world in the future. It's to evolve what we are for what we can become. Like, so many people are light workers and trying to wake people up. But why do they wake people up? Nobody fucking knows! It's ridiculous to me. Nobody knows why they are waking up other light workers. Oh, you need to be awake. Oh, why do you need to be awake? Nobody knows. Because you need light. You need to ascend to the high dimensions. And then what? You think you can just exit the Earth and go to another dimension and be happy? If you can't find your happiness on Earth in 3D, you will never be happy. Let that sink in. I know you're looking at this in the future, past or present. Like, it is so ridiculous to me that people don't understand that if you can't create happiness before you wake up, you will never wake up. The reason you woke up is because you started to get happy. You started to see the world through a new light of dawn. You started to see that the world is so amazing and everybody else is just looking through the mirror of a troll in a fairy tale that supposedly is fake, but probably is real. So let's continue. So Gerda has offered her new red shoes to the river in exchange for Kai. And that's a metaphor for sacrifices in a ritual. She's sacrificing her shoes to get her love back. And that's kind of what we are doing in life as well. We are sacrificing our ego. Or at least we are sacrificing the bad things of our ego. We are sacrificing the control. Because that's the problem with mankind. They want to control stuff. But we shouldn't control. We should surrender. You've probably heard it a lot in the spiritual community. We should surrender to spirit. And maybe that is sacrificing who we are for what we can become. We are sacrificing the stories that others have told us are fake. The story that you believed in when you were little. You wanted to be an astronaut. And where are you now? Are you a cashier? Are you an accountant? You're most likely not an astronaut. And that's not because you never were supposed to be an astronaut. It's because you started listening to other people's stories instead of listening to your own story. Your own story that shines so bright that from your inner child reaches out through your eyes and magnifies everyone and anything that sees you. When you are filled with light and harmony inside of you, nothing can get you off your path. There's no distractions in the world. There's just experiences. When did we stop being curious? Curious about magic. Curious about how things work. Curious about the aliens. About fairy tales. About the mythical creatures. We just accept oh, that's just how it is. It is what it is. No, it isn't what it is. It is what you believe it is. So what do you believe it is? Do you believe the real life is a fairy tale? Do you believe we live to die? Do you believe we live to get in higher dimensions? And then what? Are you gonna die? Are you thinking that you're gonna achieve happiness in another dimension but can't create it on Earth? You're delusional, my friend. And yeah, this is my perception of you if you have this mindset. I see you as delusional. Does that mean you are delusional? That depends on your perception. Most likely you don't think you are delusional. But when you are working with laps like sky covers on the side of your face and only see one direction and can't see the beauty all around us. Like, I wanna reach out to all the spiritual communities. A couple of weeks ago, I joined 10 spiritual communities with supposedly over 500,000 light workers. And that's awesome. If it hadn't been that it's only 144,000 light workers on Earth at the moment. So, there's... Let's do the math, because I'm lazy. 500 minus 144, that's 356,000 wannabe light workers in the world. So who should you believe? You should believe the one that let you be you. You should believe the one that don't want you to follow them, but want to help you following your own path. People are saying that, oh, you should heal. No, you shouldn't heal. They should allow you to heal, if that's what you want. They don't want you to follow a path. Like, so many people are like, oh, you should buy my service and heal yourself. No, you shouldn't. You should buy my service if my service is something you are attracted to. You should buy my service if it makes you happy. I was a sales coach. I'm saying was because I don't believe in sales anymore. I believe in curiosity, exploration, and divinely guided offers. That's what I believe in. I don't believe in sales. I believe that I create a product and I show you the product. I say what it can do for you and then you decide. I have all the abundance in the world at my fingertips. I don't need your money. I'm very appreciative if you want to give me your money as an exchange for the energy I'm giving you through my service. But I don't need it because I'm infinite and the world is infinite. And I believe in myself enough to believe that I will never have problems with clients as long as I'm my authentic self without ever defying from my path. At least not in an egocentric way to get materialistic values. And for the longest time I had a problem accepting this. I thought that, oh, but I need money to change stuff. Yes, that's true. Kind of. Because if you are manifesting money, you will not ever experience the miracle of winning something for free. People are manifesting becoming a millionaire instead of getting a millionaire mansion. What if some old guy suddenly have to move out of his mansion or he's about to die and you save his life and he's like, here, please take my mansion. If you are manifesting money to buy that mansion, you will most likely never get a mansion. Manifest the mansion. Manifest the outcome. Manifest the feeling of having the outcome, not the process, because money is not the destination. Money is not the outcome of a manifestation. Money is equal to manifestation. Money is a tool for manifestation. Money is a process. Money is a method. Money is energy. Do you understand now why money is energy? Because money can create anything. Energy can create anything. Like, this pen, I've used it before, it's energy. But you know what also this pen is? It's money. Somebody bought this pen. It was not me, it was probably my parents. Or, hey, it says Nordic Choice Club. So maybe the Nordic Choice Club used the money to turn energy into plastic. And turn plastic into money. And turn it into happiness when I write down my thoughts. It's just an energy transformation. It's transmutation. And it's so important to know that if you want to be a shaman or shaman, I'm not sure what they're saying. I'm using shaman because that's more what I'm used to. If you want to be a shaman, be a shaman. If you want to follow a path, follow the path. Don't follow the path because someone says that's how it is. That's what you are supposed to do. Do you want to ascend? Then ascend. If you don't want to ascend, if you don't want to wake up, please stay asleep. Because there's free will in the world. It's restricted free will because we can't do everything. We can't suddenly start to do bad karma without having karma throw back at us. But at the same time, you have the choice to do the bad karma, so maybe it's free will. But that's so interesting how people believe in what other people tell them, but they don't believe in what they believe. Anyways, this was my detour from this fairy tale. I'm gonna go on to the fairy tale because I think it's so important. So Gerda next visits an old sorceress with a beautiful garden of eternal summer. I'm pausing because I'm gonna check something really fast. Oh, am I? Let's see. Oh, what have I done wrong? Oh, that's why. Okay, cool. So, let me see. Endless Summer was my EP when I first started making music. So that's why I got a little bit startled when I saw that this old sorceress got a beautiful garden of eternal summer. And the sorceress wants Gerda to stay with her forever. So she causes Gerda to forget Kai, and causes all the roses in her garden to sink beneath the earth, since she knows that the sight of them will remind Gerda of her friend. Seems quite similar to the Snow Queen. Maybe this is something that would happen. However, a while later, while playing in the garden, Gerda sees a rose on the sorcerer's hat, then remembers Kai and begins to cry. Gerda warms tears raise one bush above the ground, and it tells her that it could see all the dead while it was under the earth, and Kai is not among them. So this is the helper. The rose is actually... No, the bush is actually talking to Gerda. Like the bush in the Bible talked to Moses. Yet we don't believe in this fairy tale, but we believe in the Bible. So she interrogates the other flowers in the garden. Suddenly she can talk with flowers. But they only know a single story each, which they sign to her. Realizing that they cannot help her find Kai, Gerda flees the garden of eternal summer and realizes that it's already autumn. She has wasted a lot of time and has no warm clothes to wear. Gerda flees and meets a crow, who tells her that Kai is in the princess palace. Gerda goes to the palace and meets the princess and the prince, who is not Kai, but looks like him. Gerda tells them her story, and they provide her with warm clothing, and a beautiful coach. I'm not sure what it is. While traveling in the coach, is it like a sofa? I'm not sure. Gerda is captured by robbers and brought to the castle, where she befriends a little robber girl, whose pet doves tell her that they saw Kai when he was carried away by the Snow Queen in the direction of Lapland. The captive reindeer, Bay, tells her that he knows how to get to Lapland since it is home. Lapland is actually a province in Sweden that is close to Finland, I believe. So this is actually happening in a real place. The robber girl frees Gerda and the reindeer to travel north to the Snow Queen's palace. They make 2 stops. First at the Lapp woman's home and then at the Finnish woman's home. The Finn woman tell the reindeer that the secret of Gerda's unique power to save Kai is a sweet and innocent child's heart. So it's the secret to Gerda's unique power is her inner child. This is just a resemblance of what we are experiencing in the world today. I can give her no greater power than she has already, said the woman. Don't you see how strong that is? How men and animals are obliged to serve her, and how well she has got through the world, barefooted as she is. She cannot receive any power from me greater than she now has, which consists in her own purity and innocence of her heart. If she cannot herself obtain access to the Snow Queen and remove the glass fragments from little Kai, we can do nothing to help her. And that's actually how the universe works as well. Because the universe can't give you any greater power than what you already have. When people say that, oh, I need to activate my third eye. You don't need to activate your third eye. Your third eye are already active. What you need is to remember how you use your third eye. You could say that the third eye is closed, but it's never really closed because it's not a real eye. It's just an energy center that is covered in ice. And you have to use the light from your heart to melt the ice and get the third eye to open up. But don't open it up to see spirits, but to see the magic that is all around us. To see that it's good in the world. To see that fairy tales are real and mythical creatures exist in the world. Anyways, let's go on. When Gerda reaches the Snow Queen's palace, she is halted by the snowflakes guarding it. She prays the Lord's Prayer, which I'm gonna look up. The Lord's Prayer is... Oh. Father, hallowed by your name. Your kingdom come, give us each your daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we for ourselves forgive everyone who is indebted to us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, and all that's good. Forever. Amen. Which causes her the breath to take the shape of angels, who resist snowflakes and allow Gerda to enter the palace. Gerda finds Kai alone and almost immobilized on a frozen lake, which the snow call the Mirror of Reason, for some reason. On which the throne sits, Kai is engaged in the task that the Snow Queen gave him. He must use pieces of ice like a Chinese puzzle to form characters and words. If he is able to form the word the Snow Queen told him to spell, she will release him from her power and give him a pair of ice skates. Gerda runs up to Kai and kisses him, and he is saved by the power of her love. Gerda weeps warm tears of him, melting his heart and burning away the troll mirror splinter in it. As a result, Kai bursts into tears, which dislodge the splinter from his eye, and becomes cheerful and healthy again. He remembers Gerda, and the two dance around so joyously that the splinters of ice Kai had been playing with are caught up in the dance. When they tire of dancing, the splinters fall down to spell eternity, the very word Kai was trying to spell. Kai and Gerda leaves the Snow Queen's domain with the help of the reindeer, the Finn woman and the Lap woman. They meet the robber girl, and from there they walk back to the home. Kai and Gerda finds that everything at home is the same, that it is they who have changed. They are now grown up, and are also delighted to see that it's summertime. At the end, the grandmother reads a passage from the Bible. Assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. And this is sort of like a Christian influenced fairy tale. And even though it might not ever have happened, just think about the metaphors. The troll mirror breaking and going into the eyes and our hearts, so we don't see the magic around us, and we don't feel the passion. We are guarding ourselves. And through prayer, did Gerda turn her breath into the shape of angels that resist the snowflakes. So we're using an angel metaphor to going through the ice, going through the darkness, if you call it. And the mirror of reason is where her throne sits. What is the reason, you could say? The mirror is a reflection of the troll mirror that the devil lost when he started to fight against the evil in the heaven. And now it's ice. Maybe that's why people say that, oh, your heart is as cold as ice. You're cold-hearted. Maybe that's what they're saying. You have ice in your heart. You don't have feelings. You don't have light. You're just cruel. It's like you have a troll mirror splinter in your heart. And why didn't Disney use this story for Frozen? And even think about that. Frozen. Just a name. People could think that it's a metaphor for freezing Arendelle, which is a real city in Norway. It's called Arendal, and Arendelle freezing. But what is it really a metaphor for? What it really is a metaphor for? What it really is because when you leave what is known to you and you don't see the beauty you already have around you, it will get taken away from you. By Arendelle becoming frozen, she turned her perception of the world into reality by freezing everything, because inside her mind everything is frozen. She has never been able to be herself. She just wanna let it go. She just wanna be one with the nature, be herself. But people are afraid of her. People treat her like a witch, and witches aren't appreciated in stories. Witches aren't appreciated in society. But that is changing right now, because we are realizing that a witch is nothing but a girl with superpowers. And every girl on earth got superpowers, as long as she believes she has it. This should be the story you tell your girls, your daughter, your girls in your life, your sister, your mother, your grandmother. This should be the story that we give our children. But Disney have created it into this funny thing about friendship. And maybe it is about friendship, because friendship is a forgotten virtue in the world. Like, and she's meeting Kristoff, which is not a prince. He's just a normal guy, and she's the princess. So they're totally changing the gender roles. But if you are looking back to this story about the Snow Queen has 5 major female lead characters. Gerda, which is the protagonist, and Kai is the little boy who lives in a large city. He's the infant. He's the one that needs saving, and he's emotional. He's crying. And Kristoff didn't cry in Frozen, but maybe he should have. Maybe he should have showed his vulnerable side. Maybe he should have made so the boys of our future understand that compassion and love and just openness, emotions are real, and it's not a fairy tale. It's not a forbidden. It shouldn't be forbidden. It should be something we teach to the boys of tomorrow. Because now the world is full of toxic masculinity. But imagine if Disney made an emotional, charged story about a man. Not a man that's successful, but a man that is saved by a girl. And still Kristoff jumps on Sven, and they are kind of saving Anna, I believe, or Elsa, I don't remember. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who he saves. What matters is what we believe when we read fairy tales, and what we think about when we are watching Frozen. Because in the story about the Snow Queen, she was the ruler of the snow beasts. And there's no motive. Why did she abduct Kai in the story? Was it just to turn him? Was it just to turn him evil? Why did she want him to forget about Gerda? Was she in love with him? In case of that, shouldn't this be an act of love? But understanding that we can love across races, professions, ethnics, religions. She don't really have a motive in the story. And that's interesting, because in Frozen, the Snow Queen is kind. She's misunderstood. And that's what I think also what the Snow Queen fairy tale is about. It's about a girl that's misunderstood, and she wants love, but he doesn't want her, so she traps him. And that is wrong. You shouldn't be trapped in love. And maybe it was right to fight the Snow Queen. But in Frozen, we still have Elsa as the good, the misunderstood, the one who got abilities that the world doesn't accept. She just wanted to let it go. she had a fear of the unknown because she thought that she was experiencing fear from past memories, and that's what are triggering us in real life as well. We are afraid of things that happened to us in the youth, in our childhood, and that's why we need to cut emotional cords and be able to connect with our inner child. Because remember the inner child that was playing with Olaf, the snowman. And I think that's what Olaf the snowman is actually portraying in Frozen. He is a reflection and a way for Elsa to remember the magic of the inner child. So Frozen isn't about even love. It's about self-love. It's about loving yourself for being different. It's about loving yourself for being you, being the emotional you. And as Olaf says, some people are worth melting for. And what is that? What's the meaning of that? It could be that he's sacrificing himself. But I actually think that he's just happy that she is happy. And that makes him happy. And you often have in relationships where the boy... I often think that this is common to boys in love. Men in love. I haven't seen it with women. It might be as well, but I'm a man, so I'm gonna use boy as an example. For boys in love, people just say, I like seeing you happy. That makes me happy. And if you ask boy, what do you want for Christmas? He wants you to be happy. Because he feels that's his responsibility. Not to make you happy, but to make sure that you feel happy when you're with him. And I think that's important as well. I don't think Frozen is about sacrifice. It's about recognizing self-love. It's about recognizing that you're different. Recognizing that we all have gifts inside of us, but we need to connect with that inner child that made the magic possible. And let's go back to the adventure. So, as I said, there's many female characters in this story. You have Kai's grandmother, which obviously believes in fairy tales. At least that the Snow Queen is real, because she tells a story. It doesn't say she tells a fairy tale. And we have the devil, so we got a antagonist, which is, I can't remember the antagonist from Frozen because it was antagonist Frozen, because he was completely wasted. Oh, it was Prince Hans. And interesting enough, the author of the story is called Hans Christian Andersen. And this prince is called Hans Westergaard of the Southern Isles. And you know what is the Southern Isles of Scandinavia? Denmark. So that's really interesting. And also something else I've heard. This is a little bit a detour, but I think it's interesting. And I think maybe Disney might have confirmed it. So I'm sorry if I'm breaking your childhood or something. But apparently the parents of Elsa that are dying in the movie, they are not really dying. but they are arriving in the jungle in Africa, I believe, or Asia, probably. I'm not sure which of them. Probably Asia. They are arriving in the jungle, and they are turning into Tarzan's parents. Are you mind blown? And even the ship that went down, that sunk with the parents supposedly dying, is turning into the ship in the story of The Little Mermaid. And The Little Mermaid is a story from Danish folklore. They even have a statue of her. I'm gonna show it if you haven't seen it. The Little Mermaid, Denmark. Let's see if I can... see if I can find a good picture. Let's just take that one. Let's see if I can... how can I do this? Oh, I need to do this, don't I? Screen 2. Okay, what I'm gonna do is to do like this, and then you should be able to see it here. This is the Little Mermaid in Denmark. It's a real statue. In Danish it's called the Lille Havfrue. And yeah, it could definitely be the ship of Elsa's parents. But let's get back to Hans, the evildoer, or the antagonist in Disney's Frozen. Like, you don't really hate him because he doesn't do anything. The only thing he does... what does he do? He's trying to... he's trying to capture Elsa. So you don't really hate him, because he's only capturing her. So yeah, do we hate this guy? No, we don't. Because he hasn't done anything bad. If he was to kill Olaf or something, people would hate this guy so much. I just saw a video on YouTube where people said that Voldemort in Harry Potter is a really bad villain. Because people actually hated Umbridge more than Professor Umbridge more than Voldemort. And that's kind of a letdown after 7, 8 movies. Like, how can you even not hate the evil person? Because the evil person is just a known, he's just a fear of ever appearing. You never really meet... you never really understand what he is doing. Oh, he gave Harry the scar, so now you need to fear him for the rest of your life. No. But if he was to make Hermione... I'm not sure how Hermione? I'm not sure how I say it. Ron and Hermione. I think it's Hermione. I think if he was to help because in the clip I saw, he basically wrote the book to have Voldemort remove the abilities and the knowledge of Hermione. And people in the comment section were like, I'd never hated Voldemort in my life, but I was literally crying when I read that. I felt that in my heart. I hate Voldemort now. And I'm so baffled that this worked. So, Disney is making Frozen 2. And will we see more about the Snow Queen? Possibly. Because now we have introduction, we have a motive. They are growing up, they got no parents, they can do whatever they want. I don't think we saw Anna marrying... I don't think we saw Anna marrying... what is it called? Kristoff? Did he even kiss her? I don't really know. Okay, they did kiss, but they never got a marriage. And that could be the way that Disney don't believe in marriages anymore. And that could possibly be because I don't believe in marriage myself. Like, if you need a contract to seal your love, don't you just have trust issues? Like, you are creating your divinely counterpart as a possession, and then you get angry and wanna have half of the abundance when you split up. Oh, so the love were never real because you were just a possession. Like when people say about having a trophy wife or trophy man. I'm not sure what people... Do they call it trophy man? I think they do. But like... It's just a possession, it's just bad. And I don't think marriage is a healthy thing in 2019. And some people that are watching, listening to this might not agree. And that's totally fine. Feel free to give me some advantages or benefits with being married. I don't think they believe any. I don't think anyone exists. Because before it was like, oh, you have to be married. It was just an expectation from the society, but at the same time it was, you can't have kids before you're married. And that's the reason to marry. But now we're in 2019 and like I was born out of wedlock. I was born 1 year before my parents married. But does that mean that they got married because they thought it was wrong to get me? I don't know, I haven't really asked them. My brother was born when they were married. They've been married for 25 years now. Or actually 26 this year, in May, I think. And I could never see them separated, but I've never thought of them as married. Or even as husband and wife. They had a very formal wedding. They just went to a state office or something and got the papers. With no celebration, no white bride at all. My mom had a yellow dress, I believe. So maybe it was just because they were afraid of having me. Because society expected them to it. But now we're having a change in society. And possibly a change in fairy tales. Because you won't tell your kids about the Snow Queen. But you will likely tell them about Frozen. Because Frozen is more lighthearted. But in this story about the Snow Queen, it's the devil in the form of an evil troll. In Norwegian fairy tales, trolls are also dangerous. They are killing people. But in Frozen, trolls are nice people. Like, even the evil villains you manage to turn into light-hearted creatures, Disney. I understand if it was one troll that was evil or having an identity crisis and didn't want to be evil, and he was good, and kind of he managed to turn all the bad trolls to become good trolls, and they lived in happily harmony ever after. But you are portraying them as advisors and like natives, and while they are natives, they are usually portrayed evil in the stories. But this could also be a reason to portray them lighthearted, because maybe they're just misunderstood. Maybe we thought the trolls were bad, and Disney want to show us that, oh, trolls are actually good. But if you meet a troll, is it good or is it evil? That's an interesting question. And as well, evil and good doesn't really exist, because morality doesn't exist. So, at the same time, you won't really have a problem with it, because I believe that evil is just a darker shade of good, and good is just a lighter shade of evil. I don't think anyone are necessarily 100% evil or 100% good. I believe you can be evil and be lovable, and be evil, or not evil, but like, I believe you can have negative energy and be a good person. Your parents are probably like that. But for Frozen 2, what could happen? So Elsa is the Snow Queen in the story. The troll mirror could get introduced, but it wouldn't kind of make sense. The window box garden does make sense. The eternal summer, that's kind of the opposite of what Frozen is. So that could happen. Like, they are traveling to the land of eternal summer. Or what if we make it a twist? What if, because I believe that's a new character in the movies, in the Frozen 2 trailer. I don't want to spoil everything, but what if Anna and Elsa meets Gerda? And Kai becomes... he is the cruel and aggressive. So maybe Elsa gets trapped by Kai on the Mirror of Reason, the throne, in the Eternal Summer. And then, before Gerda has kissed him, and then Kristoff, Elsa and Gerda have to save them. And instead of a frog turning into a prince, maybe it's the ice melting from Kai's heart when Gerda kisses him. And we could see the sorceress that supposedly is good. Maybe Elsa isn't the Snow Queen, maybe the Snow Queen could be another sorceress. But there's also a Robo Girl. Who is that Robo Girl? Could that Robo Girl be Anna? Or Elsa even? And there's also a Finn woman from Finland. Like, there's so many possibilities where Frozen can go. And I wanted to talk about more stories, but I think the Snow Queen is appropriate right now. Because here in Norway, it's turning into spring. It's not snow anymore. But what if suddenly snow came and people just got ice in the heart and couldn't see the beauty that was beneath the snow? The secret magic powers that are within every soul on Earth. What if we got attacked by psychic powers that was covering our third eye like an ice block, blocking our magic powers? Would we still want to wake up? Would we still want to ascend? Would we still have love in our heart? I don't know. Let's see how Snow Queen and Frozen is affiliated. Here's an article from bustle.com. How is Frozen different from the Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen? And I'm just gonna read it up and go check it out for yourself. It's bustle.com, bustle.com. Some people says that, guys, I have a confession, I didn't really like Disney's Frozen. As a devout Disney follower, I applaud the fact that the film gave us a sister relationship rather than a romantic relationship at the forefront of the story, but that does not excuse Frozen gaping plot holes. There's apparently some plot holes, I haven't really noticed that myself. And so I even read that, oh, we could see a lesbian couple, that Anna should meet or Elsa should have a lesbian lover. That could be interesting for Disney to do. I'm not sure what will happen. What if Kai is the bad guy and Elsa and Gerda, or Anna and Gerda, fell in love? That could be a plot twist for sure. Okay, how can I read more about this? Oh, okay, it's a slideshow. Yeah, it says that the Snow Queen is actually broken into 7 different stories. Let's see. The first is about mirror. That you got the splinters in your hearts and in your eyes. And that could be that you are turning everything into ice because you can't see the beautiful world and you're turning it into a reflection of what you perceive. There was no sibling relationship between Gerda and Kai, but I believe that it could be Elsa and Anna. And in The Snow Queen, Gerda is searching for Kai, who has gotten an evil mirror piece in his heart and eye. And that's kind of what Anna is searching for Elsa, because Elsa has gotten mad and just run off, just wanna escape, and she turned everything into ice because she's afraid. She's afraid of letting go. Anna's heart is accidentally turned to ice by her magical sister, Elsa. But in The Snow Queen, Kai joins the Snow Queen. With his heart struck, he forgets about Gerda and his home. But Elsa doesn't really forget about home. She just wanna get away. And the Snow Queen appeared as in a form as a white fur coat with snowflakes. And that could be a resemblance of Elsa's dress. But in the Snow Queen, there's no trolls. There's only Devil that created a mirror. There's no non-human sidekicks. But in Frozen, there's trolls, there are reindeers, And the spirits. In Snow Queen, the prince and the princess, Gerda encounters a raven who tells a story about a clever princess who wanted to get married as soon as possible. And that's kind of what Anna wants. She wants to get married. I'm not sure why. She just fell in love with Hans and just want to marry him. So that could also be who Gerda and Kai were supposed to meet, but at the same time, that didn't happen. But there's no Kristoff in the original fairy tale. Except that could be Kai. But it's just confusing. Oh, and here they suggest that Gerda thinks the princess and prince is her and Kai, but it isn't. But the princess and prince are very kind to Gerda and takes care of her. That could be Rapunzel and Ryder from Tangled. Like the story about Rapunzel. You already, I think you can see them. Let's see. I think you can see Rapunzel in the coronation. Rapunzel coronation of Elsa. Yeah, you can actually. So they could actually... let me show this to you. Because Tangled was the first movie in this animated style Disney had. And then it went on to be Frozen. And then Moana. So, can all of them be connected? Possibly. I'm gonna show this to you. As you can see here on the... As you can see here on the right, you have Rapunzel and Flynn in their movie. And as Anna is walking out, you can see Rapunzel and Flynn in their coronation. So it's possible that they could appear and be the Snow Queen, in the Snow Queen that on what I'm trying to say. It's possibly that in the Snow Queen, the princess and prince that she meets is actually Flynn and Rapunzel. That could be amazing for Frozen 2. And Olaf is not present in the Snow Queen as well. But it could be, as I said, a resemblance of the inner child. And then you have Sven, the reindeer. But Gerda is also riding a reindeer, so it could totally be... No, it's a robber girl that ride her reindeer called Bay, B-A-E. And Bay is kind of like Sven, because nowadays Bay is before anything else or something like that. And that's what you call your best friend or your lover. So Sven is Kristoff's best friend, so he's his bae, kind of, in a weird way. That is a way you could see it. I know this episode has gone on for long, but it's not gonna go on for more. Let's see. Frozen takes place in Norway, which is kind of weird because in Snow Queen is about Sweden, or it's about Denmark going to Sweden, and The Little Mermaid is about Denmark, and Arendal and where is The Little Mermaid? Isn't that in Copenhagen? Yeah, it's in Copenhagen. So let's pull up a map because I'm interested in this. Let's use Google Maps. So I wanna have Arendal to Copenhagen. And I'm gonna bring this up on the screen if you're watching. So, as you can see on the screen, here is Arendal. If you have seen the map of Norway, it's like this. And Arendal is close on the coast. And if you wanna get to what is called Copenhagen. I think it's called Copenhagen in English, isn't it? Copenhagen. Yeah, I think it's. Or is it just in? No, it is in English as well. Okay, cool. Or you could, like most people do, is to go through Oslo. If we can change it, probably. Can I change the route? How do I change the route? Oh yeah, I could use this as a. I don't want to use this one. Or probably because it's through sea. I don't know where. Let's see. You could do a flight, but why wouldn't you go through Norway? Can I? Okay. Because what I would do to get to Copenhagen is actually going up here through Oslo and down through Gothenburg and then over the bridge where? Yeah, a bridge from Malmö over to Copenhagen. It's quite a cool bridge. Can we go there? Yes, we can. It's a quite cool bridge. How do we? Oh, we can do like. Can we go like this? Oh, cool. We can. Okay. Let's walk across the bridge. Let's walk a little bit faster. It's quite a cool bridge. And it's quite long as well. Amazing scenery. Okay, we are going that way. It's quite long, as you can see. And here I think we should start to see the mainland of Denmark. I'm not sure when you are actually in Denmark. Is there a sign? I'm probably gonna cut out this part in the podcast. Come on. Okay, so I can do like that. Sweet. Here we probably... Okay, I want... Can I turn back? I think that might be the border. Because in... let's see, what is here? Yeah, I think that's... Oh, it's radio frequencies. Why isn't this? I'm not sure. Kind of interesting because we can go really close. Should we get to Denmark soon? That could also be it. Let's see what this is. It's nothing. So what am I trying to do in this episode? I'm trying to prove that fairy tales are real. And I started by going through that people are believing in God and the Holy Spirit, but they don't believe in the spirits in nature, which is crazy to me. Yeah, it's a tunnel. Okay. Öresundstunneln. Copenhagen. I'm wondering if we can find the mermaid. Can we go through the... Oh, we can go through the tunnel. Awesome. Oh my god, this one is long. If you enjoy this, put a 1 in the comments. I think it's kind of cool. And we are out. Are we in Denmark yet? I think we are in Denmark. Yeah. Yeah, because in Sweden the signs are yellow. I think it's red and yellow. In Norway and Denmark it's red and white. Okay, let's try. I haven't been in Denmark in quite a while. So let's see. Are we... Yeah, I think we're going the right way. This is literally how you enter Denmark from Sweden. It's quite nice. Nature. Good weather. It's probably quite different from the US. And UK. You've probably been to Denmark if you live in the UK though. Okay, where do we go? Good question. Where did we come from? Let's go that one. Let's check the map. Where is the Copenhagen? Little Mermaid, statue. Address. Awesome. So it's here. That was not what I was expecting to see. Isn't it out in the sea? Can't remember where it is. Oh no, it's this way. Okay. I can't remember. Can we go? We can't go past that, probably. No. Can we go there? We can. I thought she was sitting in the sea somewhere. We can go there, yeah. We cannot go there. Where is the Little Mermaid? I should probably know this. Isn't she up there? No. Supposedly she's there somewhere, but I don't understand. Okay. As you can see, there's lots of bikes in Denmark. I was trying to find... Okay. Can I go there? Okay, so I can go there. Quite cool. Anyways, I think possibly you could sail from Arendelle, get taken by a storm, then your ship is sinking here. I'm not sure where went Anna's parents. Cool. The king and queen were going to Rapunzel's wedding when they hit the storm. It can't be that old, can they? Heading to a wedding, but were killed in a storm. So they were going to Rapunzel and Flying Rider's wedding. Where did they tangle? Isn't that in Germany? Yeah, Germany. fictional Corona. Tango, Germany, Corona, inspiration. Tumblr. Yeah, sure. Kingdom of Corona. Oh my god, they are literally looking at architecture. Eastern European features. Renaissance. German Fachwerk. France, England. Okay. The Baltic Sea. There's no other location. The figure is in a lake. Lake Constance. East Indies, okay. Stockholm? No, it's not in Stockholm, I believe. Volgast. Lindau. Lindau. Okay. So where are we going? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So they are going there, but how do we get there with the ship? They probably need to get here. Here stalls. Or probably I could go here. Kiel is yeah. There's a boat that goes from Kristiansand in Norway to Kiel. So that could be the route they wanted to take, which makes it highly possible that the Little Mermaid, that the ship sunk here. I'm not sure how they would have washed up in. As you can see, the world is round, not flat. I'm not sure how it could have washed up in Asia though. Where is Tarzan? Real life location. Now we're going deep into this. I'm interested. Jungles of Africa. Southeast England. Oh, okay. Who was written down? I'm probably not allowed to show that. William Charles Midland was shipwrecked on the coast of Africa. Okay. And then we have the Lion King. Tanzania. Cameroon. Oh. block. And then we have Beauty and the Beast. Okay. So let's go here. So Cameroon. There. Okay, that's quite a while. Come from Norway. And then you end up in Denmark. You're supposed to go to Lindau. And then you end up in Cameroon. That's quite a detour. Okay. Let's go back to Arendelle. Because in the Snow Queen story... we're not going there. We should go to Lapland. Oh, it's in Finland actually. Yeah. So... supposedly... Anna's castle should be in Lapland. Or the next Frozen 2 movie is in Lapland. Let's have a look actually. It doesn't quite resemble the... doesn't quite resemble the Frozen 2 area, I think, but maybe. Oh, I forgot to take you to Arendelle. I should probably go to all the places. Come on. Oh, it was taken in the winter. That's beautiful. That's actually quite cool. You could actually take a screenshot and use it as a wallpaper. Okay. Keep in mind, it's not nowadays, it's... I haven't been to Arendelle in quite a time. Keep in mind it isn't nowadays. Isn't there a center or something? There we go. Okay. I should probably do this instead. Okay. Oh, okay, I need to do this. Okay, now it's getting kind of privacy things. Did we turn? Yeah. Cool. So what do I want to do? I want to find the Little Mermaid. I started in Copenhagen. And I'm lost already. Okay. Oh, of course, here. That's quite cool. Never watched that. Is that that's not where the hell is the Little Mermaid? is this? It should be like here, shouldn't it? I think it's out. Isn't that probably? Can I? Oh, it's a boat. Lol. Okay. I managed to get into boat of someone's. Okay. How do I go back? I don't understand how I managed to go into someone's boat. That's interesting. Okay, let's just Google that shit. Map. Okay, so it's what have we done? We have so it should possibly be here. But I watched that. Oh, okay. Is it seriously there? Yeah, I think that might be it. I thought it was in the ocean somewhere. Could it be that one? Anyways, I'm just rambling. Trying to figure out how Google Maps is working. Hey, wait. This. Oh my god, there it is. Ah. There's the Little Mermaid. I knew it was close by water. Cool, so the destination should actually be can I exit? How do I do the I'm not sure how I show that. So it would be that way. Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling. So yeah. I believe fairy tales are real. I hope you do too. Yeah. Start believing in fairy tales. Start believing in mythical creatures, because they are most likely real. Or at least they help us transfer beliefs and values to other generations. So when you tell your kids about Frozen, don't tell them about all the good things and make everything so happy. Tell them about the real world, tell them about self-love, about reflection, about what we can do to create a better world, because that's how fairy tales are how we transfer values to our kids without seeming educational and without seeming boring. And that's the fairy tales they will tell their kids. So if you wanna teach spirituality to kids, write a fairy tale. They may not believe in it, but they will always remember it, and it will help them for life. My name is Belsink. You have been watching Gen Scorpio for almost 2 hours. This was a long episode. And yeah, just one last thing. I was playing a bit of Pokemon earlier today, or yesterday, and some people were... I felt at least people asking why I played Pokemon, but think of Pokemon as just a story. It's just a story that I'm connected to. It's a story of creatures that I believe in. Do I believe Pokemon are real? Yes, probably in another dimension, because everything is real if you believe it's real. What even is real? You can't prove it. Does it mean it doesn't exist? No. Do we have to prove stuff? No. We just have to believe in what we believe and be authentic and just stay true to what we believe, and thus we can create a better world for everyone. My name is Belsink. Thank you for watching Gen Scorpio. Have a great day and see you in the next episode. If I can get it started.